Greetings and salutations, this is Imperative Vespasian taking a look at the Games Master Wilderness and Woodland Terrain Kit. I think that's what you call it. Games Master in Search of Adventure Wilderness Woodland Terrain Kit, whatever. So I picked this up. This is really after a conversation with my son. I have loads of scenery and stuff to make scenery, and we saw this and said, hey, why not get one of these boxes and paint a load of scenery just using this set, see what you can do with it. So I picked it up. I knew it was in it, but I thought it'd be an interesting thing to do, so I picked it up. Also, I wanted to get the paint anyway, so it saves a bit of time. Right, so let's have a quick look. Oops, knocking all my stuff over. So inside this we get a can of paint. What I will say about this is a lot of the modelling I do, I use this stuff and the polystyrene. And one problem with polystyrene is most paints will melt polystyrene. This stuff doesn't. This spray is actually water based and it does not damage polystyrene at all. So you can happily use this without having to treat the model first, which is a huge bonus. So that's why I like these. My son uses these paints all the time. I don't do a huge amount of spraying other than undercoating, but that's that. What else do we get? Let's get the big paint out. If I can get to it, it falls through the box. Here we have this, which is a very large wilderness base, which is just a basic green, and it's one of these but a lot bigger, which is quite handy because you're going to use this to paint a lot of stuff. So what I would do is spray with that, dry brush over a few times with this. You could also use it for sort of highlighting, I guess. I'm trying to think how I would do it, not really sure. But so that's the next coat. Then we have this, which is Wilderness Highlights, which again you can touch up to get some good toning of buildings and structures, which again come in as a good, what's the word, complement. When you're highlighting you need two tones of the same colour basically, and that's what you get. What else you get is this one, which is Swamp Ooze. This is a kind of reddy brown. There's a few like this on the market. I'm looking in my own collection that I already have. I already have this one, but from War Paints, which is the same colour basically. I think actually, yes, here we have, there you go, that's the warm colour. So that's the equivalent to Wall Paints. So Wilderness Highlights is Goblin Green, and we'll get to the others. So Swamp Ooze is Wet Mud, so that's that. Then we get this one, which is Wilderness Effect. Again, that's really for toning the edges, and that would be handy for putting sort of rust marks and things on scenery, or just actually painting mud, which you could do, which I think I might be doing with this particular plan that I've got, and Wilderness Wash. Now my plan is to make a set of scenery which is more or less identical, and paint each setup with a different box. My son's doing the winter, I'm doing the this one, the wilderness and woodland. Then we're going to argue over the other sets. Where are the other sets? I've got a list of, in fact, where are they? They're on here. That's the winter one. They've got winter, desert, and ruins and cliffs. That's the other set of the sets that they do. So I'm thinking either, I guess I'll be doing desert, which I've already done, so that'd be boring. So I think I'll do ruins and cliffs, and he can have the desert. And we're going to make sort of the same scenery up, and then see what they look like next to each other, but painted differently with a different theme. And that's kind of something we're going to do for fun, more than anything else. Then we have this, tufts. Everyone uses tufts. This is a nice sort of jungly tuft. What I'm using quite a bit at the moment is for my Napoleonics, which you will have seen in my videos, and it's this stuff, and these are flowers. So these are for my flowers for my Napoleonic project that I'm doing. This is going to be for Star Wars, believe it or not. So I'm going to be using this for all the Star Wars scenery. So all the figures match the scenery, really. Then we have a little bag of this, which is lichen. Nowhere near enough lichen for what we've got planned, but it's a handy start. This is sand, and you can get all sorts of sand. There are all sorts of sand you can pick up. Now, what I use myself for nearly all my basing these days is this sand. And if I want it to be darker, then I ink the sand after I put it on, and it makes it into a nice dirt colour. I also use one that I've got on my desk at this moment in time. This is great as soil. So if you're just wanting dirt, there's nothing to stop you using normal sand, inking it. And this is good for actual soil. I can't remember what this one's called. My daughter buys all this sort of stuff in. So I'm not sure what it's called, but it's excellent. And it would work perfectly well with this. But it isn't part of this set, so I'm not bothered talking about it too much. So we have this. Now, I mentioned the sand. This sand is quite good. I have used some of this before on modelling, and the reason this sand is good, it's basically common all garden sand. You just go to the beach and pick it up, but this, actually you're not allowed to, but I never said that. Get it from a model shop. So here is the sand, and the good thing about this is you don't use it as sand on a base, because it's too big, it's too coarse, it wouldn't look right. It does paint brilliantly. It's literally made up out of tiny little rocks. Well, it's sand, so you know. But if you stick this to a base and spray it, you can then paint the base, and it does a brilliant job of covering. And I will actually do a video doing it, so you can see the result. That's what this sand is really good for. So I'm quite happy that this is in it, because that's pretty good, and it's going to be good for all the different projects we're going to be doing. I'm not sure what you get in the other boxes. I'm presuming you get a different type of sand, or possibly not. I'm not sure. I'll have to find out. I should guess in the snow box you'd get the snow stuff. For snow I use marble. I've used every single thing you can possibly imagine for snow, and I have discovered that marble is the best thing to use because it doesn't change colour once you've stuck it on. So a lot of things you use will fade, so you could use snow effect grass, basically normal grass, but it's white. You could use that, and you could use marble, which is what I use, and marble's great because once you put the snow on, it stays white because it is literally marble, so it would just stay the same colour. Then we've got this. Apparently, according to the box, this is free. This is basically razor wire, well, fake razor wire. I often make my own, but it's handy having this, and I think I'm going to use this to add it to a bit of scenery. I have a load of these spare because I've got a couple of boxes of Star Wars stuff. One I got bought for my birthday, which is back in March, and one not long back. So I have these, and you've already seen the ones I've already done, and I use them for the ship scenery, you know, when we're fighting on ships. But I've got a load of these, and what I thought I would do is make sort of a little scenery setup using these, but stuck to the actual scenery and theme the scenery. So I'm thinking of doing swamp with these in, and then we'll figure out what else we can do with it. And this will come in handy for that. I think it'll work quite well. Yeah, so that's really it. That's what you get in the box. Now, the box isn't badly priced, to be honest, with what you get in it. If you pick, as I said, I needed this paint anyway, and this paint would have cost me half the price of the box, so a little bit less than half the price of the box. You also get the tufts. They cost what, £4 a set. The lichen, well, that's like 99p for a bag of lichen. The razor wire is free. I'm not sure how much that costs. This stuff is about £4 or £5 for this, and then of course the paints are about £3 odd each. So overall, you're doing pretty well. And this is, how big is this? So it's this 2 to 3 lots. This is going to come in really handy, that one. So overall, let's have a look. So wilderness base is green skin. Let's have a look. So it's green skin there, and I think this bottle, what was it? It's about £3.25. I picked this one up for. Depends where you go. So yeah, that's worth £9 on its own. So that's great. So yeah, pretty much if you're doing a project, it's handy picking something like this up. I did look online, because I picked this up in the shop. I did look online to see how much these were, and I can't actually find that one. I don't know if it's still in production, but I did see that in the store, so I think I will be doing that one, and well, those two will be done. See, I've already done a load of scenery in sand. I don't really want to do it again. I could do it again, I suppose, but yeah, having time to do all these different projects, but this is an interesting one that I'm doing, because it's for Star Wars. Star Wars figures are a lot bigger than your average figure. Let's have a look. We've got one here somewhere. So that's a Star Wars figure, and that's a normal figure. He isn't based yet, it's just on the clear plastic base. All the Star Wars stuff I've got at the moment is on clear plastic bases, and that's because we couldn't come up with a theme as to what we were doing. The armies are themed. These guys, this is the 112th Battalion. So the armies are themed, and we're going to make a load of terrain to the army that has the theme, if that makes any sense. So it would look really cool. So this guy is a soldat, is a officer, is a legionnaire, and this guy is a clone trooper, and as you can see there's a big difference in size. So the scenery that I am making for these, I have a piece here which I'm working on. This is part of this is a rough cut of the building that I'm working on. This building would be absolutely enormous, something like this, which is I suppose fine for 40k, but perfectly evenly matched for this size. So I'm making a load of scenery that is just for Star Wars, so it's much bigger scenery, much bigger doors and things, and yeah, there we go. If you're wondering why I'm covered in paint, my 3-year-old, I was painting, he was sat on my chair next to me while I was showing him how to paint, and he pulled the top off. I didn't know you could even do that. Anyway, that's the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know in the comment section. Leave a like and click whatever you click, and that's it. Goodbye.